Hello and welcome to another wonderful episode of Overlord Explained. I'm Shergog, your host, and we will be discussing the 11 world-class items of Ainz Ooal Gowns and their incredible abilities. These items are part of the 200 strongest items in the entirety of Yggdrasil Online, and are referred to as world-class items or as wild magic by the Dragon Lords. But before we delve into the details of these 11 items, I would like to take a moment to thank my dear patrons for this tremendous support I'm receiving and for choosing today's topic. Also a big thanks goes out to all users of the YouTube thanks function who made one-time donations. Now with that said, let's get to the main event. Firstly, all 11 world-class items possessed by Ainz Ooal Gowns, as well as all other world-class items, have two extremely useful abilities. First and foremost, these items grant complete immunity against wild magic, the original magic of the dragons. Similarly, wild magic seems to render the users immune to other wild magic effects as well. Curious. Additionally, the Dragon Lords recognize and refer to these world-class items as wild magic, rather than tier magic. Secondly, these world-class items also provide immunity against the effects of other world-class items, and Ainz Ooal Gowns mentioned in the third volume that the primary benefit of the world-class items, or the main way to use them, is to counter other world-class items, both passively by wearing them and actively by utilizing their abilities to counter the abilities of another world-class item. But we will get to that later. Furthermore, it appears that players, or rather beings who travel to the new world, needed to be in the close proximity of a world-class item in order to be transported in the first place. And now let's discuss each individual item. We will start with the Red Orb of Ainz Ooal Gowns. It has the confirmed ability to be highly effective against dragons, which is likely a reference to the Orb of Dragonkind from Dungeons & Dragons, which could summon and control chromatic dragons. The Red Orb is positioned in such a way, inside of Ainz Ooal Gowns, that it also could be mistaken for a phylactery, a soul vessel of a lich. In the web novel, Robert Dyke even attempted to exploit this perceived weakness of Ainz and to destroy the Red Orb with a well-placed hit of his gauntlet. But his armored gauntlet shattered in 1,000 pieces, and Ainz informed him that half of the players and NPCs who invaded the Great Tomb of Nezuric at this time of the Great Raid died due to this very world-class item. And even in the current novels it is confirmed that the Red Orb possesses other abilities that are currently unknown. Next in line we have Ginnung Gagap, also known as True Nord. It is named after the chasm in Norse mythology, and Ginnung Gagap has the ability to transform, allowing it for example to take the form of Albedo's Berdish. However, the world item itself is weaker than Albedo's normal weapon, but on the other hand, Albedo was able to break through Platinum's world-separating barrier, using Ginnung Gagap. In its true form, Ginnung Gagap is a floating sphere, mounted on a staff, and as the first world-class item discussed, it gained a certain amount of attention right at the start, because Tabula Smaragdina, one of Ainz Ooal Gowns' fellow guild members, equipped Albedo with this powerful weapon, without Ainz Ooal Gowns' knowledge, because normally all guild members should have voted on the deployment of a world-class item. This slight rule violation by Tabula led Ainz to, of course jokingly, modify Albedo's character description on the last day of Yggdrasil Online, stating that Albedo was now infatuated and madly in love with Momonga, aka Ainz. However, the true power of Ginnung Gagap lies not in its transformation ability, but in its incredible effectiveness against buildings and structures. This makes it extremely dangerous in the hands of Albedo, who has a secret plan that remains unknown to this very day, and who is visibly hostile to Nezuric in her private moments. Moving on to avarice and generosity. This world item is currently in the hands of Mare. It was bestowed upon him when Ainz Ooal Gowns wanted to make sure that the mind control incident Shaltir suffered through could not repeat, and therefore he started distributing world-class items to the Floor Guardians in order to prevent such an incident from happening again. Avarice and Generosity has actually two abilities. The demonic Avarice Glove represents greed, and it absorbs experience points, allowing for the accumulation of a tremendous amount of EXP in Yggdrasil Online. This feature is extremely advantageous as players can continue to gain experience even after reaching the maximum level of 100. However, they can only accumulate up to 90% of the experience required for a purely theoretical level up to 101. This safeguard ensures that players do not automatically lose a level when using abilities or spells that would consume experience points, such as summonings, for example the summoning of a powerful undead. Nevertheless, there's now a strict limit to the number of experience points that can be stored in this normal way, which users of the world-class item can bypass, which makes it very valuable for Ainz, since now Ainz could, without losing a single level, summon extremely powerful undead at greater quantities. And the user of this item can also accumulate so much experience that they could theoretically raise a level 1 player to the level of 100 and spam EXP consuming summons like it is nothing. And this ability to release all of the stored experience points again is represented by the other angelic glove, Generosity. And since even weak opponents, such as very weak soldiers that the Kingdom of Geastiles had employed in its army, the death of hundreds of thousands of soldiers can still provide a substantial amount of experience, despite the individual weakness of each soldier, which is also why Mare had been brought to the Cuts plane by Ainz Ooal Gowns in the first place. And this concludes the first part of the video. Originally I intended to make it a very simple and compact video, but there is so much lore surrounding the world items that I need a second part in order to cover the rest. And therefore, we will continue in 2 or 3 days, and until then, I say thank you very much for watching. Please share your thoughts on the topic and about the video in the comments. And as usual, I say my special thanks to Arder Daddy Arder, Bad Guy Yi, Bad Burrito 316, Beezer, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Dragonlord Plaxidu Saxophone, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Feral Shivan, Guy with That Hat, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Loverazor, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, Oh Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantom, Personage, Primus 11, Rhinomere, Cune Karakos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rock Ed Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito 27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Xenokai, and Zonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon on my next video.